Welcome to Henderson Library's Home Edition. My name is Miss Rita, and I think I've met many of you over the summer and this fall sharing stories. You remember, I'm the librarian that doesn't bring books, but I bring stories from long, long ago. Now, in our library, we have thousands of books, and we're glad you're coming to check them out and pick them up at curbside. But long before there were books, there were stories. And if you met with me last month, we made a ghost card together as our craft. And today I brought you two ghost stories, both from long ago. And if you remember last time, I brought my friend Bat, and I had all my bats on my head because the bats are the ones who told me these stories. But the stories today didn't come from bats. They came from people who had seen ghosts. And our first story is called The White Dog. Now, many of you may have dogs at home. I had a brown dog, and this dog is all kinds of colors. He's got white and brown and black, but this dog in today's story was all white. And this is the story of the white dog. There was once a boy named Joey, and his best friend was his dog, Ghost. That's right, that was the dog's name, Ghost. Now, Joey and Ghost played together all day long, especially in the summertime when they weren't at school. They would go out and run through the forest, they would chase squirrels, they'd go up and down ravines and through streams, and they had a grand time together. And everybody knew Joey, and everybody knew his dog, Ghost, especially his neighbor, Farmer Green. Now, every day, Farmer Green would see Joey and Ghost running through the fields, and he would say, you know, that boy is lucky. He has a good dog. I bet you have a good dog, too, at home that plays with you. Well, one summer day, after Ghost and Joey had played all day long, they went home, went to bed, and in the morning, when Joey woke up, he couldn't find Ghost. He looked all through his bedroom, he looked downstairs, he went out to the barn where his father was working, and he said, Dad, I've looked for Ghost everywhere, but I can't find him. And his father sat Joey down and said, Joey, Ghost went to sleep last night, but this morning he didn't wake up. Remember, he was an old dog, but he loved playing with you. Oh, Joey was so sad. He missed Ghost. Ghost was his best friend. He went out to play that day by himself. It just wasn't the same. But he went through the fields and the forests and down the ravines, and he chased squirrels himself. But it wasn't the same without Ghost. And then he decided to go a little farther into the forest where the ravines were a little steeper. And a ravine is like a hill that goes down, 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 usually to a stream. And when Joey was playing, he slipped on the edge of the ravine and he fell down. He cut his leg, it was bleeding. It wasn't hurt terribly, but it was hurt enough that he couldn't get back up the ravine. He tried to crawl out, but the more he tried to crawl out, the more he slid back down. And he yelled for help. You can help me with this. He yelled and he screamed, help, help, help. But there was no one who heard him because he was out in the woods by himself. Now, Farmer Green, remember that was Joey's neighbor? He was out on his tractor, plowing his fields, and who did he see but a white dog? It looked just like Ghost. Why, it was Ghost, said Farmer Green. He said, Ghost, where's your friend Joey? Why are you here all by yourself? But Ghost just kept barking and barking and barking. And Farmer Green said, no, I'm busy. You go on and play. Find Joey, Ghost. I've got work to do. But that dog would not let Farmer Green alone. He just barked and barked and barked and went in front of the tractor. And finally, Farmer Green got off his tractor and said, okay, Ghost, what's wrong? And he followed Ghost into the woods. And he went to that ravine where Joey had fallen down. When he looked down into the ravine, he saw Joey and he said, what happened? And Joey said, I fell down and I can't get up. And then Farmer Green turned to Ghost, but he was gone. Well, Farmer Green finally got part of a branch, and he held it down, and Joey was able to hold on to that branch, and he was able to get out of the ravine, out of that deep hole, with Farmer Green's help. And finally, when Farmer Green had him out of the ravine, he said, "Joey, I am so glad your dog came and found me. I would never have known you were out here. Why, I was working hard and Ghost just wouldn't leave me alone. He brought me right to where you had fallen down." And Joey said, "What?" He said, "Your dog Ghost. You know Ghost? He came and told me that you had fallen. It's because of him that I'm here." But Ghost turned to Farmer Green and he said, "That couldn't have been my dog. My dog died last night." Now, what do you think? Was it just another white dog that happened to see Joey down in that hole? Or do you think his dog Ghost became a real ghost, and the spirit of that dog made sure his friend Joey would be safe? I don't know. Someone in South Carolina told this story because they had been there the day it happened. And they told it to someone else, and they told it to someone else, and that person told it to me. People say, "Miss Rita, is that a true story?" And I'll say, "I don't know if it really happened or not, but it's a true story about a ghost who was caring for someone he loved." And that's the story of the white dog. Our second ghost story today is kind of a silly ghost story, because I love ghost stories that aren't too scary. I like ghosts that help people, and I like ghosts that have fun. And our next story is about a ghost who wanted to scare people, but in the end, they had a lot of fun. And this is the story of the ghost with one black eye. And I'm going to ask you to help me with this story. So when I go like this, would you say, "I am the ghost with one black eye, and you better run or you're gonna cry"? You want to try it with me? Let's try. "I am the ghost with one black eye. You better run or you're gonna cry." Good job. Okay. This is a story. I bet you know the title of this story. It's called "The Ghost with One Black Eye." There was once a family. There was a mother and a father and a brother and a sister and a little baby. And they were getting ready for breakfast. And the little baby said, "Apple juice! Apple juice! I want some apple juice!" "Oh," said the mother, "apple juice, that's right. I bought some yesterday, but I put it down in the cellar, in the cupboard." Now here in Nevada, we don't have too many cellars. Just like the last time I told you stories, we talked about attics. Well, in some older houses, you have your first floor, like where you have breakfast, but then you can go down some stairs into a cellar, which is under the ground. Well, the mother said, "I know there's apple juice down in the cellar." And she said to her daughter, "Would you go get the baby some apple juice?" So the sister went down the stairs and into the cellar, and she was ready to open the cupboard door where the apple juice was, when the ghost popped out, and you know what he said. "I am the ghost with one black eye. You better run or you're gonna cry." Well, that sister ran, oh, she was so shaky. She ran right up the stairs, and she said, "Mom, I couldn't find any apple juice down there." "What?" said her mother. "I know I bought some yesterday, and in the meantime," and you can help me with this part too, the baby was getting very impatient. And the baby said, "Apple juice, I want apple juice." So she said to the brother, "Would you go down and please get the apple juice for your baby brother?" So the older brother went down. And he went down into the cellar, and he was about to open the cupboard door when out popped the ghost. And the ghost said, "I am the ghost with one black eye. You better run or you're going to cry." And the brother went up the stairs and said, "You know, I couldn't find the apple juice down there either, and I have to go do my homework now." "Homework?" said his mother. He's never been that anxious to do his homework. So she said to Father, "Father, would you please go down and get the apple juice for the baby," who was now screaming, "Apple juice, apple juice, apple juice." So the father went down the cellar, And he went down the cellar stairs and he opened up the door of the cupboard where the apple juice was stored. And he heard that ghost, and what did he say? I am the ghost with one black eye. You better run or you're going to cry. And the father ran up the stairs and he said, Mother, I don't think the baby needs any apple juice today. Let's just forget about it. How about milk? Or how about orange juice? But the baby just said, apple juice, apple juice, apple juice. All right, said the mother, I guess I just have to do this myself. I should have gone myself to start with. So the mother went down the cellar stairs. What did she do when she got downstairs? She opened the cupboard and out popped that ghost. And what did he say? I am the ghost with one black eye. You better run or you're gonna cry. And the mother went upstairs and she said, okay, baby, we're gonna have orange juice today. No, apple juice, apple juice, apple juice, apple juice, apple juice. I want apple juice. Finally, the baby was so thirsty for apple juice. He slid out of his high chair. He hopped along the floor, kind of crawled, and he's just starting to beginning to walk. And he went to the cellar stairs, and he put his little bottom on the cellar stairs, and he bump, 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 bump. He got all the way down to the cellar. And he couldn't reach the door to open where the apple juice was, but the ghost saw him coming. And the ghost opened the door, and you know what the ghost said? I am the ghost with one black eye. You better run or you're gonna cry. And that baby just looked at that ghost and said, I want my apple juice. You better give it to me right now or you're gonna be a ghost with two black eyes. The ghost was so scared he ran out the window. And that ghost never came back. And the baby always got his apple juice. And that's the story of the ghost with one black eye. And for our craft today, we're going to make some ghosts, and you can make a ghost with one black eye. I hope you enjoyed the story of the white dog and the ghost with one black eye. I bet you know a few ghost stories that you can tell. Would you like to make a ghost to help you tell your stories? The little ghost in my hand has two eyes, but if you turn him over, he has one eye. So you can tell the story of the ghost with one black eye, or you can make up your own ghost story, a ghost with two eyes. How do you make your ghosts? If you come to curbside, you will find bags all set with for you with all the materials you need. In this bag, there will be 3 eyes. And there will also be 3 little glue dots to glue the eyes on your ghost. Now, Miss Rita, I like to use regular glue. So if you have glue at home, this works beautifully. But if you don't, there are glue dots in your bag to help you put your eyes on your ghost. Also in your bag, there is a yellow card with yarn on it to make your ghost. So the first thing you're going to do when you open your bag is take your eyes out. Put them in a safe place so you won't lose them, because I find them on the floor all the time. I never know where my eyes are. And your glue dots, just put those right next to your eyes. And if you're using regular glue, right like that. Now this is my sample ghost. I'm going to let him rest a minute. And I have a couple of sample ghosts, and we'll show you what to do. Okay, the first thing you're going to do is take your card, and in the middle of your card, there is a little knot with 4 pieces of yarn. These aren't too long. They're long enough so you can tie them, but they're not super long like the yarn on the card. Now on the card, the yarn has already been wrapped around this card. So all you need to do is find the end that's loose, like this. That's going to be the bottom of your ghost. You notice at the top, none of the yarn is loose, but at the bottom, there's the loose end. So the first thing you're going to do is take one of your short pieces of yarn, and you're going to go to the top of your ghost. And when you get that yarn, you're going to slide it under the top of the ghost. You're going to just make like you're tying your shoes. Make a little knot like that. You can do it twice just to make sure it doesn't get loose. And you got it at the top with that tied around. That's the first step. The second step is to go to the bottom and cut the yarn. And then your yellow card is all done. You don't need it anymore. And now you've got the ghost that looks like this. Kind of looks like a mop, doesn't he? He looks like a white mop, not like a white dog or a white ghost. But here's the part that you tied at the top. Now, what you're going to do is the part that you tied at the top, let me find the short ones. This one is a little longer, so he's part of the regular ghost. The ones that you tied at the top, you're going to cut them off right where your knot is, because you don't want these straggling along. There, and those are just scraps. We'll put those away. So now you've got this done. Does he look like a ghost yet? Not quite. So we're going to take him and just flip him, kind of like making his hair, making his head. We're just going to turn it upside down and spread him out. Just spread all that yarn out. Kind of looks like a little many-legged octopus right now. And then when you've got it all spread out, smooth it down. And take another piece of your yarn, your short pieces, you have 4 altogether, and go near the top, and you're going to make your ghost's head. You're just going to put it not all the way to the top, depends on how big you want his head to be. I'm going to put mine right here, and I'm going to tie it once, then I'm going to tie it again, just to make sure it doesn't come loose. And this is the head of my ghost. Now again, what am I going to do? I'm going to cut off the ends. We don't need those anymore. They're a little longer because we wanted you to be able to have enough of the string to tie it tightly. Okay, so now you've got your ghost and you've got his head. But our ghost needs some spooky arms because he's going to be flying around telling stories with you, so he needs some arms. So the next thing you're going to do is take about 5 or 6, I usually take about 6 strands and put them to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like this. And then on the other side of your ghost, just take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the rest, put right down the middle. That's the bottom of your ghost. So you've got 6 going this way, 6 going this way. I bet you know what you're going to do with the last 2 strings. You're going to put them on the arms and tie them twice. Once, and twice. And again, when you're done, you're just going to take your scissors, and the part that you tied, you're going to just trim it off. It's kind of like his wristband. Then there's one more step to the arms. You don't want his arms dangling like that, so you're going to cut it all down to make a short little hand like that. Then you go to the other side. Remember, you're going to put it underneath. You're going to tie it twice. Once, pull it tight. That arm might be a little longer. Well, sometimes ghosts have a longer arm. And tie it again. And actually you can, if you want to, you can cut it just with one cut and cut them all together. There, and there's his hand. And that's your scraps. So now you got the ghost, woo, ready to tell stories with you. But now you've got to put his eyes on. Again, there are glue dots if you like using glue dots, but I'm going to use regular glue. And first side of my ghost is going to be a regular ghost. He's not going to be the ghost with 1 black eye. He's going to be a ghost with 2 eyes. Oops. And you don't want too much too much glue, but remember your glue will turn clear when it's dry, so you won't see that. There's 1. And ooh, his eye is oozing over here. 2. And you want to let it sit, let it dry a little bit. But for just to show you, I'm going to turn him over now. And on this side, he's going to be the ghost with 1 black eye. So I'll put a little glue right in the middle. Take my last eye, glue it right down. Now you want the glue to dry a little. So before you tell your stories, make sure it's dry. But you can tell the story of the ghost with 1 black eye, or you can make up your own story about a ghost with 2 eyes. But I hope your ghosts have fun with you, and I hope you have fun telling stories. Remember to come to the Henderson Library to put books on hold. Also to join us at the Henderson Library Home Edition for lots more stories and lots more crafts. Thank you for coming. Take care. Bye.